So look, man, I recently saw an interesting post on SA Hip Hop Reloaded and SA Hip Hop 24/7 on Instagram, which is quite interesting, and I really want to address this. So this tweet goes, Blxckie really displays Shane Eagle on the three heads of SA Hip Hop. Now, I'm going to take it back for a bit, just to give context as to what I'm going to be talking about so that you guys understand the conclusion that I'm going to give for this video, right? So around 2015, 2016, we saw the blow up of A-reece, Nasty C, MT, and Shane Eagle, right? However, the general consensus in hip hop, since MT is a trapper and basically just purely an artist, the top three of SA rappers were viewed as A-reece, Nasty C, and Shane Eagle, right? Now, these guys have basically come out with a couple of albums and EPs here and there. And for the most part, man, these guys have had classics in their own right. I mean, Bad Hay is a classic. Paradise is a classic. Yellow is a classic, And these guys, as their career progressed, obviously they've evolved their sound. Reece being the guy that really makes music for the youth. Like, his music was more for the city vibes, even though he had a lot of raps, especially around 2016 to 2019, And then Shane Eagle, around that time, his sound was more evolving. Obviously, it was a boom bap, but a boom bap sound that was more commercially viable. And then around 2016 to 2019, it sort of shifted to a sound that was very abstract and industrial, Nasty C was a guy that moved from just purely rapping into an artist that makes pop rap, and also evolved into an artist that made rap that was trap, So these guys fairly evolved over time. As all of these guys, fairly evolved, Shane Eagle went on to do things, with international artists such as Bass, obviously being linked with Dreamville. Nasty C now doing things with T.I. and a lot of other artists, including A$AP Ferg, and French Montana, and also now being signed to Universal, obviously making moves, And then A-reece was sort of the guy that basically took a step back from everything and just tried to push his guys, But eventually A-reece now has evolved into someone that's being, in partnership with Platoon, and obviously now is doing something that might be part of the international aim for him, because he's worked with Joey Fats and it's looking like he might be working with Fora. It seems like there are talks that he will be working with Rick Ross in the near future, hopefully, But why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up because in 2020, we saw fresh new energy, raw energy, an energy from SoundCloud that was very aggressive, very energetic, and a sound that was very unusual for it to work in the South African landscape. It was an anomaly because if you think about the time that Blxckie blew up, it was basically a time where hip hop was going downhill, And for people to sort of gravitate towards Blxckie's music at that time was kind of crazy because the sound was not the usual sound from hip hop that we originally know about or we usually heard. And I think in the beginning a lot of people were skeptical, because he had to prove himself, But I think it was kind of like a thing of, okay, yeah, you got a song, you got, Big Time Slapper, you have this song, but we sort of need to see where you're gonna go with it, So fair enough, Blxckie releases a couple of singles, and then he releases his first EP, which is 031. I think it was early last year, and then he released finally his debut project, which is absolutely amazing. The singles were nice, the music was diverse, he tapped into different markets, different genres, which obviously allowed him to grow his brand even more. And his work ethic was really the catalyst in him ascending this quick, So now that I got that out the way, I do want to talk about the numbers, So let's look at the numbers, man. So Blxckie Spotify numbers, he has over 257,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, right? And he has over 266,000 followers on Spotify. Nasty C has over 596,000. I'm not even going to talk about Nasty C's numbers because they are ridiculous. Even the followers, he's over 1 million followers on Spotify. And then on the other hand, A-reece has 82,913 followers. So A-reece and Shane Eagle are basically tied, even though A-reece does have more followers. He has over 408,000 followers, I won't even talk about the other streaming platforms, when it comes to the numbers, because basically Spotify is a reflection of basically almost every platform when it comes to these guys' numbers. Now let me answer this question, man. Was Shane Eagle replaced by Blxckie? And my answer is no. And the only reason really why I'm saying this is because Shane Eagle has been in the game for over 5 years, bro, and he's consistently managed to drop music that people like, even though some some projects really are not really for me. Green is not my favorite project. I really don't even play Green. Dark Moonflower, I think it was like too overrated. You know, the EP that just came out, like Sun and Blue and Baby Blue Force, was fire. You know, Never Grow Up is fire. Yellow is fire, obviously, you know. But my point is, Shane Eagle has managed over time to make music that resonates with his core fan base, people that actually stay listening to him, you know, people that follow his moves. And he's never been an artist to branch out. He's never been an artist to sort of like try different sounds. He's always been about this rap thing, you know. Now me, I don't really glorify the stay in your lane, be a rapper like that. I don't really care as long as you're making good music, you know. Now obviously Blxckie is making good music, and he's one of the artists that can do any type of music. He can rap, he can make R&B, he can make Afro beats, nigga. He can make amapiano. So obviously the numbers will be on his side because it's branched out a lot. But that's not the main issue, not even an issue, but that's not the thing that makes me say, nah, Blxckie is not there yet. The only issue is that we still have to see if Blxckie can maintain. Because obviously if we look at this three-headed monster thing that we like in rap, if you look at J. Cole, Drake, and Kendrick Lamar, they've been in the game for over decades, you know. I mean, not even decades, but like 1 decade and a couple of years, you know. But my point is, they have been given time to prove themselves. Yes, there were talks around 2014, 2015 that they are like currently the best rappers, but it wasn't really solidified until like they at least gave it like 5 years, you know. So I think in that way we have to give Blxckie some time and see if he can manage to sort of like keep the same fan base, you know, interested in him, you know, and see if he can continue over time. Because let's say Blxckie now, God forbid that Blxckie falls off, I don't think he's ever gonna fall off. That guy is too focused, bro. He's a hard worker, he's determined, you know, and there's a great team around him. But let's say for argument's sake he falls off in, let's say, in 2 years, right? Will we say that he's actually like one of the top three-headed monsters? We can't, because he didn't even last 5 years, you know. He didn't even last 5 years, you know. So if we're talking about Reese, Nasty C, and Shane Eagle, those guys have catalog and they have time, they have longevity, they've proven to the rap game that they are here to stay. At this moment, I would say no, he hasn't replaced Shane Eagle. So yeah, man, you guys tell me what you think though. Hit the comment section. I'm going, and peace.